Okay, just think about your last week at work for a second. How many hours, seriously, how many hours were you stuck in meetings? Now, what if I told you a huge chunk of that time was basically a financial bonfire for your company? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the real costs of every single meeting you sit in, and we'll explore a pretty simple idea that could completely change the way your company works.
So let's get right to it. How much does your next meeting really cost? And no, I'm not talking about the coffee and pastries. I'm talking about the minute-by-minute salary of every single person in that room, all added up. Just picture it, a 1-hour meeting with, say, 10 managers. You're not just losing 10 hours of work time. Nope, you are very likely looking at thousands of dollars just gone. Once you start seeing meetings through that lens, with a price tag attached, everything changes.
And this is the fundamental truth that so many of us just miss. We treat time like it's this endless abstract thing, but it's not. Not in business anyway. In a business, every single minute is a financial investment. So the real question is, are you actually getting a good return on that investment? Or are your meetings just these really expensive habits that nobody's ever stopped to question?
So you might be thinking, okay, how would you even track that in real time? Well, the idea we're looking at today introduces this fascinating solution, a concept called the revealer. Imagine an app on your screen that does one simple but honestly incredibly powerful thing. It makes that invisible cost of the meeting totally visible to everyone. The point isn't to shock you with a big scary number. The goal is to turn every meeting from just another thing on the calendar into a conscious, informed financial decision.
Now, take a look at this. It's super simple, right? Before the meeting even kicks off, everything's at zero. But this isn't just a simple stopwatch. The second that meeting starts, both counters, the time and the cost, they start ticking up together, right there for everyone to see. That quiet, running tally of dollars and cents, man, it just changes the whole vibe of the room. It suddenly creates this shared sense of accountability that just wasn't there before.
And this really shows you the huge mental shift that happens. You know, on the left, you've got the old way of doing things. Time feels kind of fuzzy and abstract. Cost is something you maybe think about later. And decisions are made because, well, that's just how we've always done it. But then you look at the right side, with that real-time cost staring you in the face, everything flips. Time is now a hard number, a real expense. Cost isn't hidden anymore. It's right there. And all of a sudden, the conversation shifts from a vague, "So, do we really need this meeting?" to a very specific, "Hey, is this discussion worth the, say, $500 it's going to cost us to keep going?"
All right, so this is way more than just a simple cost timer. Let's dig into the core features to see how this thing goes from just an awareness tool to a full-on optimization engine for your team.
So yeah, it all kicks off with that real-time cost calculation. That's the heart of it. But it doesn't just stop there. All that data gets crunched into detailed reports so you can finally spot the patterns. Like maybe you realize your Monday morning meetings are consistently costing you thousands more than your Friday ones. That kind of insight is gold. It leads to actual productivity optimization and even smart recommendations, like suggesting who really needs to be in a meeting and who could just get the summary later. Now, I think this next part is super important because it shows the whole philosophy behind this. The source is really upfront about the tool's purpose. This quote you're looking at is basically a disclaimer. That potential savings number you might see, it's not a guarantee. It's a prompt. It's designed to make everyone in the room just ask themselves one simple question. Hey, could we have gotten this done 10 minutes sooner? It's a tool for thinking critically, not just for blindly cutting time. And you know that process, that simple act of reflecting, that's what takes this from being a neat little calculator to a genuine leadership tool. Because this is about so much more than just shaving a few minutes off a meeting. It's about using this new awareness to totally master your impact as a leader.
So according to the source, that cost calculator, the revealer, is really just the starting point. The next step is a whole platform they call M360 Plus. This is for the leaders who see the data and go, okay, I get it, now what do I do? It's designed to give you the tools to not just track your time, but to actively master it, to max out your team's productivity and really amplify your impact. The whole idea is to get you to move from just being aware to taking action. You know, it's not here to educate you, it's here to activate you.
And that really brings us to the big question that this whole concept is built on. Once you can't ignore the true cost of your time and your team's time, it just forces you to change. So the real question isn't about saving a few bucks on meetings. It's about whether you're ready to take this insight and use it to fundamentally transform the way you lead. It's such a simple idea, but wow, the implications are huge.